Frederick, starting left guard. Starting center left guard for the Wisconsin Badgers football team, the Rose Bowl bound Badgers. What are we, 10 days out?
I think so. Just about 9 or 10 days.
And getting ready, just got done with practice. Guys are getting in some extra reps. But we want to talk to Travis about his ties to the Lake Geneva area and just what's going on with him now. So first of all, big man on campus. You're a big man on campus. How's, you know, what's campus life like? Do people recognize you at all? That kind of thing?
There's a lot of students that go here, so it's not something that
right.
I'm fully recognizable. I try and stay that way too. You know, some of those guys like Monty and Russell.
Oh, I bet.
Everybody loves those people, and they're all over them every time they're out anywhere, or if they're, you know, just walking around, they're always getting mobbed. So it's actually kind of nice.
Okay. Let's see. Maybe a little bit about your childhood. Tell me about just where you grew up and you know what that was like, and yeah, Sharon.
Yeah,
the early days. I heard you grew up on a farm.
I grew up in Sharon. I did not grow up on a farm. I grew up in town.
I'm sorry.
Just you know, small town, 1,200 people.
Okay.
I went to grade school in Sharon. Went to high school at Bigfoot, obviously.
Okay.
You know, as a kid, played a lot of football with my brothers, and you know, really just roughhoused around with them a lot. And
okay.
You know, growing up, you know, I learned a lot from all my coaches in high school. You know, they kind of took me under their wing and got me a chance to come here.
Okay. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 2 brothers, one older and one younger.
And what are their names?
Tyler's my older brother and Colin's my younger brother.
Okay. You know, growing up, did you ever like dream of this moment or dream of playing college football or anything like that? Or what did you want to be maybe when you were younger? You
know, I really didn't think about playing college football until I was about a freshman or sophomore in high school.
Okay.
And at that point, I kind of thought, you know, maybe this is a real opportunity. Obviously, when you're a kid, you know, most kids want to grow up and be professional football players, but
right.
You know, I was kind of under the assumption that that's not something that's realistic for everybody. So,
right.
Until freshman or sophomore year of high school, you know, I didn't really think about it. And at that point, I went and asked Coach Wedig about, you know, what I can do to get a chance to go and play. And he kind of set me up with some things, and obviously, you know, helped me out and put me in the situation.
Okay. How about your parents? Are they athletic? Were they athletic?
My dad played football in high school a little bit. Had some knee problems and quit playing.
Okay.
My mother's kind of the brains of the operation. So, you know, they were big into activity as a kid, and, you know, telling me, you know, making sure I was playing outside and things like that.
Okay. And speaking of brains, if you mind saying maybe what your GPA is and just what you're majoring in and how academics are going for you.
I'm a double major in computer engineering and computer science. It's not going quite as well as I'd hoped, but you know, it's going, and I'm moving through the tree. You know, hopefully I can graduate in 4.5 years.
Okay.
I can be out of here.
Are you about halfway so far, or?
Just actually, I'm into my 3rd year right now, so I'm over halfway.
Okay. And what have been maybe some obstacles? Is it just a lot to juggle school and football?
No, absolutely. You know, it's a lot to have on your plate. You know, you're spending anywhere from, you know, 20 to 60 hours here at the football facility a week, and then you're, you know, obviously you've got class, and you got to go to class, and so you're spending, you know, 14 hours a week in class, and then you're supposed to spend, you know, they say about 3 hours per credit outside of class. So if, let's say I got 13 credits, you're looking at 39 hours outside of the classroom as well. You know,
wow.
Plus we got projects and things like that. So, you know, I spend a lot of time, you know, outside, you know, not at home, you know, either at the library or in a computer lab or something, doing all that.
So how important is it to, you know, are you kind of a regular sleep guy, or do you try to catch naps every once in a while? Or?
I'm more of a regular sleep kind of guy.
Okay.
I don't go to sleep until a little bit later, probably usually like 1 or 2, and then I try and get up and do some homework in the morning before class. Usually I get up at about 7:30.
Okay.
Try and get some homework in before class.
So you're not getting the 8 hours?
I'm not getting the 8 hours, no.
Any idea the last time you got 8 hours?
No.
Too long ago to mention?
A long time.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Hey, I wanted to know, did you see the Sports Illustrated article on the Wisconsin offensive line?
I glanced at it.
Your name wasn't there.
You know, I heard that it was out there. I obviously did the interview. And
okay.
You know, I thought it was pretty cool. There were some cool pictures, and I read through it real quickly. It was a nicely done article.
And you know, speaking on that, media, you know, a lot of national recognition this year. Rose Bowl 2 years in a row now. How do you feel dealing with the media, and does that ever, you know, get pressuresome and ever get difficult, or you know, how is that?
Dealing with the media is pretty easy. Most of the people.
It never gets really overwhelming, or
no, most of them are pretty nice to me. You know, every once in a while you get somebody that's kind of out to get you, but you know, around here that doesn't usually happen. So you know, I'm really thankful for the people that we have here.
Okay. I heard a story. Actually, I read a story. Leg press, and you were up in the 700-pound range, and they stopped you.
We did do squat, and
it was squats.
Squat. We don't usually do leg press. But
okay. And you were up in the 700s, and I heard they stopped you because they were afraid you were going to hurt yourself?
No, I mean, it was to the point where I needed to start working on some other things with speed and things like that. So I wasn't really worried about getting hurt. But,
okay, but it's a cool thing you could tell people.
Yeah, it's not usually what I tell people when I first meet them.
Okay. I also saw something on the internet. Second strongest player in college football. Have you heard of this story?
I heard this story, and you know, as nice as
how valid is it?
As nice as have your name in there, some of those numbers are a little inflated.
Okay.
I always tell people that. It's not quite true, but you know, it's nice to be mentioned up there.
Okay. Any NFL aspirations? You know, that's not really,
It's not really something that I'm you know.
Does that ever cross your mind?
It's not something I'm really planning on doing. Really, I'm planning on graduating with a double degree from University of Wisconsin. Obviously, that's a very valuable asset to have.
Right.
You know, and in the degree fields that I have, they're kind of expanding job fields. So hopefully, I can get a job in there. If something does pan out, it pans out. But you know, really, what's most important to me right now is getting my degree.
If there was ever a day when everything was possible, like the NFL and these other academic ventures, would you have to at least consider it?
I think it would be in consideration. You can't really turn anything down, you know, without thinking about it.
Who's your favorite NFL team?
I'm going to go with the Bears. All the Wisconsin Packer fans hate me. I do respect the Packers. I'm not one of those Bears fans that hates the Packers, but I am a Bears fan.
I might have to stop this right now. So Caleb Haney, your thoughts?
You know, I have no comment on the way that anybody else plays. You know, obviously, I have things.
Do you think they're going to make the playoffs?
I don't. I have no idea. You know,
upset the Packers.
I haven't got a chance to play or see the last couple games.
Okay.
You know, I've been real busy with homework and stuff. So.
Okay. I mean, last year, Rose Bowl. Don't believe you played?
I did not play.
Okay. This year, different story. How different is this year from last year? Just preparation, all that stuff, getting ready for the game.
You know, last year I redshirted, but I was playing with the twos, you know, kind of a backup position. If something went horribly wrong, I'd have been in. So, you know, obviously the preparation is very, very similar. But this time, you know, I'm going to get a chance to play, and that's really exciting. Last year was nice to be able to sit back and watch and see how some of those older guys handle things, and how I can use that to my advantage this year. And hopefully I can translate that onto the field. Okay.
How about moving around on the offensive line? You play guard, you play center. Have you ever played tackle?
I've not played tackle here.
Do you like that?
You know, I think it's something that's very, very valuable. Coach Bo does a really good job of making sure everybody can play more than one position. You know, there's some guys that can play 3, 4 positions. I can play 3, left, right guard, and center. It just really helps when you get to the late into the season. It's hard sometimes with depth. You got guys that are going down here and there, and you got to make a shuffle around. So it's really valuable to have guys that can play different places.
Okay. When you found out that you were going to be a starter, maybe take me through that, kind of finding that out. That had been the beginning of this year or the summer, or?
I mean, there's not really
I mean, how did that all come about?
It's not really something you don't like get a letter that says, hey, you're going to be the starter.
Right, you know, but I mean, does Bielema tell you, or do you know what I mean?
I mean, just going into the season, it's something that you kind of know, you kind of can feel, you know, where you want to be. And obviously after last year, I put myself in a position, I said I wanted to be the starter, and I just kind of moved from there and just, you know, kind of assumed that's how it was going to be.
Right.
To work and not get beat out for a position, but you know, that's kind of just, you just go about it, and the way things work out, that's kind of how they work out.
Okay. little bit of blast from the past. A couple years ago, I interviewed you here. It was your first game as a freshman. You had to have been on quite the emotional high.
Yeah.
You know, just how different is it now, just kind of being more of a seasoned veteran on the team and maybe being a little bit more mature? You know, do you feel you've grown in both your football ability and maybe your maturity?
Oh, absolutely. I've definitely grown. You know, from football ability, it's obvious. You know, the more time you spend at it, the more reps you take, the better you're going to be.
Okay.
I think I've definitely grown in that area. And as far as maturity, you know, just spending time away from home, being, you know, a college student, you got to kind of take care of your own things, living in your own house, and just, you know, moving forward with things like that. So I think that, you know, I've grown in all areas, and it's, you know, I've been really thankful for the experience that I've had.
And maybe your thoughts on this season. You know, a couple very tough losses, but you guys have bounced back, and now you got a chance to beat Oregon, who was in the national title last year. You bounced back and beat Michigan State, got some revenge. What are your thoughts on this season? Why has it been successful, or are you disappointed that you're not undefeated?
You know, I knew coming into the season, you know, in fall camp, you can kind of tell, you know, from what I learned last year and the year before with a group of guys, you know, that the chemistry is what makes the team. And so this year going into camp, you know, you can really feel that kind of chemistry, and it could be a special year. Obviously, you know, it wasn't as great as we wanted it to be.
Right.
You know, we had those two losses, but we were able to kind of move back and pan it out. So I think that's kind of something that we do well as a team. Is just stay level-headed and just keep moving forward. And obviously, that paid off in you know, the championship game, and it paid off throughout the season.
How about in your free time? Maybe you don't have free time? Word association, free time, right, go. Right. Any hobbies, interests, that kind of thing? You know, in the summer, time to hang out.
In the summer and the spring, I like to play golf. I also like to scuba dive.
Okay, wow.
A couple of things I like to do. You know, I play video games here and there with my roommates. You know, I like just hanging out with them, watching movies, things like that.
Okay, okay. When are you going to get back home, or have you at all this season?
I've been home a couple times. I was home last weekend for kind of a family Christmas party. Okay. Makes it a little easier that I'm only, you know, an hour away, but it's sometimes hard to get away. Okay. We're actually going to need a couple days off for Christmas, so I'll go home for Christmas for the first time in a couple years. So.
Okay, wow. First time in a couple years?
Yeah, I haven't been home for Christmas since the year in high school.
Oh, wow. Is that
the benefits of playing in the bowl games?
Yeah. How about a couple random things? Movie? Favorite movie?
I'm gonna have to go with the Star Wars series.
Ooh, Revenge of the Sith? Or old school?
I'm gonna go with Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. How about music?
Music, I like to listen to country music.
Okay. Any favorite artists?
All artists. Tim McGraw.
You ever been to Country Thunder?
I've never been there, no.
Okay, okay. Let's see, what else? Anything else you can think of? Tired right now?
Yeah, pretty exhausted.
Okay, well, Travis, thank you for your time.
No problem.
It's been an experience. And unless you can think of anything else, that's about all I got. I think I covered all the bases. How about if you could say anything to you know, Bigfoot or any of those guys right now? Wedding, shout out. Wedding's coaching girls varsity basketball now. He took over.
I heard that. You know, I'm thankful for all the coaches and people that have helped me throughout the way. You know, the community, everybody's backed me for a very, very long time, and I really appreciate the support.
One more thing, I swear. If you prospective athletes out there, I mean, you were a guy that was, you know, 8th grade freshman year. You know, you decided I want to work and I want to get better, and you got to this point. Just any advice for anybody struggling and having a hard time in high school, that kind of thing, not fitting in or not, you know, able to achieve their goals, reach their goals, and stick with it type of thing?
You know, I think the best thing that I can say is just stick to it. You know, in whatever situation you're doing, whether you're not doing as well in sports as you want to be doing, or you know, you're not fitting in as well as you want to, you know, for me, it just goes back to just stick with it and move through it. You know, there's obviously a lot of things that go on and a lot of things that happen, but you know, if you can just stay, you know, status quo and keep a level head throughout things, you know, it'll all pan out in the end.
Okay. All right, Travis. Thank you.
All right.